How long before an exam should I study for? That is a question I get almost every time when I have to start preparing for the upcoming exam. Be it a few days before or a few weeks before, but how long is enough? How long is enough for me to remember the material? I found almost the exact same question on Quora and Reddit when searching it up on Google, and they suggest anywhere between 3 to 5 days to even weeks in advance. But how much is the right amount? For me, these forums are usually useless since everyone studies for themselves. And that is what everyone will tell you as well. Every person needs their own time to remember the material. Take this. How long would it take for you to remember this script I wrote by head? Not a night before, right? Perhaps not even a week before. Maybe you're talented and you'd remember it in a few days. What is that optional time? What's the average time you need to remember something? See, I played piano my whole high school, and what I've noticed is that after the first day of practicing a new song, my fingers had no idea what they were doing. On the second day, I kinda remembered some notes, but not all of them. On the third day, I could play some parts without reading the notes. And on the fourth day, I almost could play the song only by fingers, by muscle memory. What does this tell us? That this concept is quite similar with brain and remembering stuff. If you read the material one time, this will get stored in your short-term memory. The moment you stop studying, you will forget it in 15 minutes. You could actually try this out, even with my YouTube video. Study raw material for 15 minutes. Or look at the second sentence of my video. Then take 15 minutes break. After that, come back to that material or my video, and without looking at it, try to remember exactly what it said in the book. It said this. It's hard, right? That's because what you studied was stored in your short-term memory. If you can't remember this, how are you gonna remember all of the material one night before an exam? This is also why these tutorials on how to study one day before an exam and get away with it videos are useless. What I like to do is first see how much material there is to remember. Is it 10 pages? 20, 30? What I found that worked for me is that I could study about 5 pages at once. Once you start getting that feeling that the studying is a must and there is just 1 page left, trust me, that time studying goes on to nothing. You better just stop studying then. So, how to continue? With breaks. And yes, I know everyone's been telling you to take a 5-minute break. If it's more, you're gonna lose the momentum and so on. What I've noticed, however, is that I lose momentum the second I take a break. If it's 2, 3 or 5 minutes, it's over. That's why I would suggest instead of studying, let's say 4 hours in a block with 2 5-minute breaks, better do 2 hours in full with no break, but 2 times in one day. For example, 2 hours in the morning, then take a break till evening, and in the evening, you're gonna feel like you never studied today at all. Now, if you do 5 pages per 2 hours, that's 10 pages per day. But that's only raw material studying. How do we make sure we get this out of the short-term memory and bring it into a long-term one? Every day, first spend half an hour of your time not immediately starting with new material, but try to revise as much material as you can from earlier days. Let's say you did 10 pages yesterday. Today, for the first 30 minutes, you reread all those 10 pages you did yesterday, and only after you start studying new material. The trick is that every day you're gonna end up revising more and more material, and the material is gonna start to get stuck in your brain more and more every day, similar to my muscle memory with piano. This way, when the exam finally comes, and if you started soon enough, you'll have everything remembered. But now, the final question, how long do I actually need to start studying before the exam? The answer is simple. First, revise how many pages of material you need to study. Then, take into account how many pages could you do per amount of hours you can study in a day, and don't forget the revision from the previous day. Then, calculate it all together and there you have it. For me though, I found out that I usually start remembering things from revising on the 3rd day. So, something I learned today will be stuck in my memory in 3 to 4 days. I think this is how it works with most people, but you will soon figure out how long you need to remember a specific thing yourself. I wish you luck.